Welcome to this video learning session. When you complete this session, you will be able to create a Diagram 0 DFD. In this session, you'll learn about Diagram 0 and how it expands a context diagram to provide more detail, how to create a Diagram 0 DFD, and how you can use a case tool to create a Diagram 0 DFD. A context diagram is a top-level view of the system and the external entities that interact with it. In a context diagram, a single process, called process 0, represents the entire system. To see more detail, you must open up process 0. If you think of process 0 as a closed box, Diagram 0 is what you would see when you take off the cover and look inside. Diagram 0 shows internal components, such as processes, data stores, and data flows, but you won't see any additional entities. All the entities that interact with the system appear on the context diagram, and they don't change. This is part 2 of the learning session. Let's begin by zooming in on process 0. A set of DFDs is like a company organization chart, where each level shows additional details. Using a top-down approach, you can work your way down to simple processes that a programmer can translate into program code. For now, we're only concerned with the next level below the context diagram. The grading system, which is process 0, contains 4 separate processes: establish gradebook, grade student work, assign final grade, and produce grade report. The red line represents the boundary of process 0. Inside the line, you can see the 4 processes and 1 data store, all connected by various data flows. How do we know what details to add as we create the DFDs? Whether it is a new system or an existing system, our DFD model is based on the results of interviews, surveys, document review, observations, and other fact-finding methods. Now we'll add the same 3 external entities that appeared on the context diagram. Next, we'll show the data flows in and out of process 0. These are the same data flows we saw on the context diagram. They don't change. Think of these data flows as different color wires that disappear into a black box. Now, with the cover off, we can see where those wires go. The context diagram is shown at the left. The entities are the same as Diagram 0 on the right, but Diagram 0 lets you see the internal details. If we hide the details, it's like zooming back out to a context diagram view. This was a simple example, but you would follow the same steps whenever you create a Diagram 0 DFD. This is part 3 of the learning session, where you'll learn how to use a case tool to create a Diagram 0. The example uses the grading system diagram we created in an earlier learning session.